Right, for this section we're going to be having a look at respiration and what it means and how we can actually measure a rate of respiration. So first of all, if you remember when we looked at photosynthesis, photosynthesis was all about the producers, the plants, taking in the energy from the sun and using carbon dioxide and water, and a chemical reaction takes place to produce glucose and oxygen. Well, respiration is the opposite of that. You take in the glucose through your food, and that is then absorbed across your small intestines and into your body, into your cells, and that will go into, if you remember I talked earlier about your mitochondria, which are like the sausage shaped organelles in a cell, that's where respiration takes place. And then you get your oxygen that you actually breathe in, and as you breathe it in, it goes down into your trachea, then into your bronchus, your bronchioles, down into your alveoli, and it is diffused across into your red blood cells, and it attaches to the hemoglobin to become oxyhemoglobin, and then that travels around through your arteries, and when it gets down to the capillaries, the oxygen diffuses across and goes into your cells, and then it goes into the mitochondria. So once the glucose and oxygen get there, they can carry out the equation or the reaction that will produce carbon dioxide and water as waste product, but it releases the energy from the glucose that was trapped there in the first place by photosynthesis, and we call this ATP, which is the molecule of a substance that has the energy trapped inside it. Okay, so all living organisms carry out respiration, and there's two that you need to be aware of. There's aerobic respiration and there's anaerobic respiration. Now if we talk about the two, and I'm going to put them into a sort of example. Let's just say we asked you to go and run round the field, okay, in a long distance race. Then as you start running around the field, you're okay to start with, because your body has got lots of supplies of glucose and oxygen in the mitochondria, and it can release the energy and it will keep you going. When you get probably about half to 3/4 of the way round, you might find that your body starts to get a bit tired, because you've started to use up your supplies. So you have a problem now, because you don't just stop and fall flat on your face. You actually carry out a different process now called anaerobic respiration, where you can just take the glucose and break it down to release the energy that you need to keep running, but it also produces lactic acid. Now, lactic acid is the thing that is toxic to your body, and it causes you to have cramps and fatigue, which means being tired, and it gives you stitch and things like that. Now you can't carry on indefinitely using anaerobic respiration. It is meant to be a short-term solution, and that's why you end up getting cramps, because it's your body's way of saying you're producing too much toxic lactic acid in your body. So when you stop the race at the end, you'll find that you're carrying out really heavy breathing, okay, and this is because you owe your body oxygen, because with anaerobic respiration you don't need any oxygen, but you have to pay it back. You are in debt, you are in oxygen debt, and that's why you stand there and you're taking really deep heavy breaths, because you're replacing the oxygen in your body, and by doing that, that oxygen then will break down the lactic acid to remove it from your system. Now if we just go back a step and have a look, you can measure your rate of respiration using something called a respirometer, okay, and if you look at that diagram down in the right bottom right hand corner, you'll see we've got a little mouse there in a flask, and we're not causing it any harm, so don't panic. And as the mouse is carrying out respiration and giving off carbon dioxide and water, we can measure that, okay, and that's what a respirometer does. However, we can also use something called a respiratory quotient, which basically is a calculation we can use for respiration, and it's your volume of carbon dioxide produced divided by your volume of oxygen consumed, and that's what we use the respirometer to measure. Okay, if we look at enzymes and respiration, the reactions in respiration are controlled by enzymes, and the rate of respiration is influenced by temperature and pH. When people warm up before doing strenuous activity, their muscles warm up a bit and the respiration reactions go more quickly. When they start exercising hard, their respiration is faster and can release more energy. If we're looking at pH, the increased lactic acid from anaerobic respiration lowers the pH, and this reduces enzyme activity and so reduces the rate of respiration. So muscles get tired, they get fatigued, and this is painful, and your muscles will stop contracting. Okay, that's it. Thank you.